In my last video, I covered Helium moving to Solana, the HIP 70 proposal, and there were a lot of comments that says that Helium is going to zero, Helium is trash, Helium is dumpster fire, and I can't agree with you guys more, right? Looking at CoinGecko, the price looks awful. It's only up 55% today. So what can you say about that? It's dumpster fire. You should definitely sell your miner and sell everything Helium related. So all sarcasm aside, just want to make this disclaimer that you guys should definitely do your own research because we are in a bear market and there's a ton of YouTubers out there that are making some questionable content and investing in things like Luna Classic and things like that. I am not a big fan of Luna Classic. And for Helium, I gotta say, right now in this bear market, I will not buy Helium. I'm still mining it because that's just free money, right? But buying Helium, probably not. So other than that, if you have watched my previous Helium videos and you enjoy these videos and you have yet to subscribe, please be sure to smash that like and subscribe button because it really helps YouTube algorithm push this out to more Helium lovers who needs to see it. Other than that, let's jump into today's video. So just gotta say guys, once again, do your research. We are in a bear market and this is a prime example of how manipulated this market is, right? Because just yesterday we saw Helium at $3.33. That was the low, and people were saying that Helium was going to zero. See, this whole entire market is emotional and it's designed to take money away from the retail investor. And since yesterday, it climbed all the way up to 543. It's a 55% rise today. And if that's not manipulation, I don't know what is. And at the same time, we see Bitcoin falling off a cliff. It's under 20,000 now. And I'm still not buying into this. I think that there are some levels, and you can see that I've drawn out quite some number of levels here. So pause the video if you want to catch those levels. Like I always say, guys, all the altcoins follow the price of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin broke under 20,000. That's what contributed to the drop of Helium that we saw yesterday on September 6th. That coupled with the mixed sentiments that are around Helium moving to Solana are two of the major factors that I think really contributed to the fall of the Helium price yesterday on September 6th. So it's all emotional is how I see it. Of course, don't take my word for it. Please do your own research because that is most important. Form your own opinion, listen to your gut. My own opinion was that HNT sold off based on the marketplace's emotion. And we see that through the rise of HNT up 50% and more on the next day. In this bear market, what I think is that most mom and pop retailers, the retail investors, they don't know why Bitcoin and Helium and all these other altcoins are falling. They don't know why Helium is moving to Solana, and I have a feeling that they don't even know what Helium does. They just heard it from a neighbor to buy this Helium token, buy this miner, and they're gonna make free money. If you don't know how Helium works and you don't know the reason for the move, then make sure to watch this video, this last video that I made for Helium. That's gonna cover everything you need about the proposal, HIP 70, to move Helium to Solana. A good thing I have heard is that the Helium Foundation fully backs the proposal by Nova Labs, which is the company behind Helium. And they have been in discussion with them about this HIP 70 moving to Solana for months. So it gives me confidence that they're not making this decision willy-nilly. This is not like Shiba Inu or Doge where they say we're making a metaverse one day after the next. But like I said in my last video, and if you haven't watched that last video, make sure you watch that. But the main point of moving to Solana is that scaling is really the issue here for the Helium network. The scaling issues need to be solved because Helium as blockchain has grown so much that the blockchain itself cannot handle all the demands of the network. So it makes complete sense to move to another blockchain that can. That is called delegation. Businesses do it all the time. That's why we see, if you go to any retailers, all the stores there, they sell clothes, and what do those tags say? They either say made in China or made in Bangladesh. That's delegation. So as always, you can find the articles and the references in the pinned comment, but they're scrapping proof of coverage, and this is one of the consensus mechanisms that is behind Helium, right? So they're scrapping proof of coverage because they have said that the consensus mechanisms on the Helium blockchain were not able to handle the network applications in their current form. Scrapping the use of POC would help make the Helium network become much simpler, developers said. And the proposal comes after Helium raised $200 million in a Series D funding round at a $1.2 billion valuation in February in a round led by Tiber Global and FTX Ventures, who joined existing investors Multicoin Capital and A16Z. This is Andreessen Horowitz. All these firms have previously invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the Solana ecosystem. And these aren't the only big investors. If you take a look at Crunchbase, you can find their other investors as well. Some other one big ones. You know, there's FTX, there's Pantera Capital, and Google Ventures is also part of them, those you don't see them here. So I'm not gonna stand here and just shell Helium to you and talk about its pros. I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible because that's what I want to convey in this channel. And if that gels with you, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. But you know, we also have to talk about the cons in order to make a fair decision on what to do. And the criticisms that Helium has received are valid, and let's go through them. So we have an article at the start of this month, and this one basically had a big entrepreneur, Lyron Shapira. He criticized the network, Helium network, for its complete lack of end-user demand, following the news that the network was only generating $6,500 per month from data usage revenue, despite raising over $350 million. The Helium network also experienced a 4-hour outage, which affected the ability of HNT token holders to exchange their tokens and prevented Helium hotspot miners from receiving rewards. I mean, those are pretty big problems. And there was another tweet here from Helium that noted that the project's goal of developing a secure, decentralized, and cheap IoT network is not easy and envisioned it might take 5 to 10 years. He also stated that realistically, there's only been usable coverage for the last 6 to 9 months, and applications are starting to get built on the network. Now, this was tweeted on July 26th of 2022, right? So it was some while ago. Another Redditor also accepted that comment. You know, it's not easy to build what Helium is trying to build. And their quote was basically, if Helium works, and I'm not saying it will, it can revolutionize the way data is shared. So I think Helium moving to Solana is really the right move here because Solana is just blowing up. There's so many developers on there. So with that many developers, there's gonna be at least some of them that's gonna take interest in Helium and start building applications that can integrate with Helium, and then boom, now you have use case, now you have utility, now you have applications that are using Helium and HNT tokens. So there are perspectives from both sides, right? There are people that are for it and there are people that are completely against it, right? It's kind of like the Bitcoin problem. There's Michael Saylor, who is completely for Bitcoin, and then there is Peter Schiff, who is completely against Bitcoin. So I just want to leave you with this story that you really have to think of this kind of like Amazon. Amazon started in 1997 and it took them 14 years to become profitable. That means for 14 years, they were in the red. Helium started in 2013, so it's coming up to its 10-year anniversary. It still has 4 more years for it to catch up to Amazon and make a profit. And I really feel that compared to 1997, where we are now with respect to crypto, the recession, inflation, it's a much more dangerous place to be at. We're really standing at the cliff. And I really feel that right now, we're just starting to see the adoption in crypto. We're just starting to see a lot more people getting interested in crypto in this time during the pandemic. So, will it work? I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't buy HNT, I mine it. HNT, like all the other altcoins, is a huge risk right now in this bear market. So if you're interested in buying Helium, you think you're gonna buy it soon, or any other altcoins, yeah, I'll think twice about that, maybe even 3 times. I will be transparent and say that I do have 3 miners, and if they all go to 0, I will still be completely fine. But from what I've read and understood, I'm hopeful with HIP70. I mean, what did we see when Bitcoin just appeared in like 09 or something? It was a huge risk, and there were some people that took that risk, and there was a lot of people that said, you guys are idiots for taking that risk and buying Bitcoin. We don't know if it's gonna go to 0 tomorrow. And who got the last laugh? I'm pretty sure those guys are all getting their last laughs on a beach somewhere in Europe, or maybe not Europe, because Europe is going through some hellish times right now. Like we saw in the article, if Helium works, and I'm not saying it will, then it will revolutionize the way data is shared, and that's all there is to it. No risk, no reward, baby. So that's all I have for this video. I'm not too worried about Helium, and you shouldn't be either. What you should be worried about is leaving a comment below for the YouTube algorithm and sharing this video with a fellow Helium lover. Other than that, please be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Make sure to watch our other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember guys, continue working, continue building, continue inspiring. I'll see you next time.